Only invite those people who really add value to your life and who make you happy.
Hi, I'm John from PGP Wedding Films, and welcome to Say Yes to the Best, where we talk to the best wedding pros to give you wedding planning advice. Subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We have new content out all the time to help you with your wedding planning. Also, check out our friends at Pennsylvania Weddings. They are a Pennsylvania-based blog covering the entire state, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, everything in between. And they can really help you find inspiration and vendors for your wedding day. So go check them out. And we do a live Q&A with them every week on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on their Facebook page, where you have a chance to ask our pros your questions, whatever you need to know about your wedding planning. It's a great way to get professional advice for your wedding day. Today we're talking a little bit about your guest lists, and especially when I'm recording this in the beginning of 2021, the amount of guests at a wedding is still kind of up in the air. So even in normal times, I think couples are always trying to figure out exactly how many people I should have in my wedding, how many people can I afford to have at my wedding, what do I do about all the people who I feel obligated to invite versus the people who I really want to be part of my day. So I've been asking our pros what they think and what they've seen in their experience. So let's hear what they have to say.
Yeah, guest lists are tricky. I would say the thing that I hear most often is that there's pressure from parents or parents-in-law about their friends, and it kind of can turn into everybody I know pretty quickly. And I just really don't think that it's worth expanding your budget infinitely in order to kind of impress those folks. I think if your parents want to have a really awesome party with their friends, they should do that, just that. It shouldn't have to be your wedding that does that for them. Of course, sometimes that's just not going to happen, and so you have to pick your battles. It's not worth, creating a war with your future parents-in-law if they absolutely have to have certain people there. So try and find that balance of sticking up for it just being your wedding, and that also helps contain cost. 100 people is way cheaper than 300.
Figuring out your guest list, this is one of those where, again, it becomes very unique for each couple. Sometimes we have couples with really large families, and, we don't want to cut anyone out. I guess, I would say that, without it coming out the wrong way, to consider that it's only one day and that there's only so much time in that day. And so when you're choosing people, to choose them for the right reasons. Unfortunately, sometimes, someone may have asked you, let's just say, for instance, to be a bridesmaid in their wedding, 10 years ago, when you were really close, and you're no longer really close. Don't feel obligated to ask that individual to be a part of your party. Because in the end, I feel you should share that time with the people who you are the closest with at this point in your life. And I would say the same thing goes with your guest list. And again, this isn't about making anyone wrong for the choices that they make. Each couple is unique. But maybe, for instance, you have work colleagues and you feel an obligation because you work with them all the time. Don't feel obligated, because on the day of your wedding, you will feel obligated to spend time with them, and you only get so much time, and you want to spend your time celebrating with the people who are closest to you as a couple. I would say just to be really kind of honest with yourself, individually, but also as a couple, on who you really want to share and include in this really very significant day.
So I can say that this is something that is hard for the couples, because both families on each side are expecting this day since so long ago, and that they want to have special people in there. However, keep in mind that it is your wedding, and that in 50 years or whenever, you're gonna look back and you're gonna think, why is this and that person sitting, why are they in the pictures? Or why did, instead of inviting them, we invited, this couple that was very special for us. So it's just an example, but just keep in mind who you are close to, and remember it's your day, and keep it simple. As Pat was saying, it's okay, especially during this season that we're going through. It's okay if you're pretty selective with the guests that you decide to have that day.
We had a small wedding, and we truly, I mean, we know a lot of people, but it was really hard to narrow it down. But the way that we felt about it was like, who do we talk to the most, I think. And we also did not have kids at the wedding because that's a whole other layer when it comes to cost for food and just in general. So we kept it no kids, sorry, and just very close friends.
Don't feel like you have to invite anyone, because you don't. This is your day, and like my best friends and I always say that we can't wait for our weddings because it's just going to be all of the people that we love the very most in the entire world in one room, and that's the only time that that's ever going to happen for you. So only invite those people who really add value to your life and who make you happy and who make you a better person, and don't feel like you have to invite everyone under the sun just because it's expected. Like, throw expectation out the window and just make it your day.
Oh my goodness, that's so tough, because my first thought is invite people that are going to be in your lives for a long time. But even that is tough because you have people that come in and out of your lives, and they might be super special to you when you get married, and then you might kind of fall out of each other's lives in 5 years. I think I would say don't go over budget for other people's feelings.
Right.
I think a lot of couples get pressured into inviting friends of their parents and relatives that they will never see again. And it's very proper, but if it's going to negatively affect your budget or your day, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Make sure you start with your A list of invitees that you want to see there, and then start asking your parents who they might want that you might have room for.
Or maybe give them, this is all to assume that they're not contributing to the wedding, so that kind of changes things a little bit. But if you give them like a certain number of people that they're allowed to invite, that's a good way to do it, I think.
Yeah, compromise.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest takeaway is you have to kind of do what's right for you. There's so many different factors to really consider when you're deciding on your guest list. Who's paying for it? Because if you're paying for the wedding yourself, you might have a different feeling or a different expectation than if someone else is contributing or paying. But ultimately, at least my philosophy when I talk to couples about the things that I do is, the day is about you. And while there are other family and other types of obligations that you want to be considerate of and sensitive to, I think it's okay to prioritize what you want on your wedding day, because it is your wedding day. You only get to have this day with your partner once. And I don't think you should feel guilty or you should feel obligated to do anything that's not going to bring you the most enjoyment of your wedding day. Hopefully this gives you a lot more to think about as you are figuring out what's the right guest amount and who we want at our wedding. Thank you for watching Say Yes to the Best. Again, we have new content out all the time to help you with your wedding planning. Subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Check out our live Q&A over on the Pennsylvania Weddings Facebook page, 7:30 on Thursdays. Happy planning.